Hello and welcome back, everyone. Day 12 for our Java training. Let's get continued with the next topics. So, a couple of topics that we need to discuss, team. So, instead of taking a project or anything, I'll quickly kind of cover them. I'm going to switch my workspace, everyone, to our folder, and I'll talk about static. So, let's start with what is static. So, there are two types of static things, team. Static variables or arguments, and we'll also talk about static methods. Then we will talk about inheritance today and how we use extends keyword and what is a method overriding. So we saw method overloading. We'll be able to kind of touch upon these now. All right, so where's my Eclipse? Is it opened? Yep. So let's go back to P2, is it? That we were doing a lot of programs. I should have maintained one just for OOP specifically, but that's okay. And team, I've stopped asking you about practice because I hope and I believe that as you get time, you will involve into it. So here, let's create a J11 class, okay? So the first thing I'll do is J11, this is a runner for oops. Okay, sir. It will have usage in it, okay? So now let us say I create a new class team. So I'll say new and a class and no main method in it. And I was thinking of a lot of examples. Now I'm little stuck on them. Let me see. I wrote them here, then I deleted them also. Math calc. We're talking about static. So I'll talk about static as its team. So I'll just say this is static concepts. Okay. And no main method in it. So I'll just say rather no. No, this is not right class name. Let me see where I can use static. Why didn't I think of it earlier? So if I use a bank app, but everyone will be able to change, then I have to show you private. Math calc is a better one. We already had a math calculator, right, team, somewhere? So my math.java is there. I'm going to take this. Okay. Now I'll show you just as an example, team. Okay. And let me just show the code version of it. I'm not able to come up with a creative thing. So I'll call this as assignment 06 underscore static. What does it do? But I need a small name. Star. Okay. Nothing more to it. Just call star. Okay. Now, if I create a variable called int x out here, and I create a method called public void m1, and it just says sysO m1 method execution. Now help me, team, how can we create an instance of this class within our j11 underscore oops? So the name of the class is sta. Can you all try and give me that one line of how we can declare and create the object Is there a constructor for it? No constructor, because there's nothing, no method with STA. So if I go here, what do I write to create a method, create an object of that class? Very nice. I need a full answer team, like we write in the program. So first we take the class name. I say that is STA equals my object name, not equal, sorry, and then followed by my object name. I'll say this is example one equals new STA, open brackets, close brackets, end of it. Now we have created an object called E1. Now, can I create one more object with the same class? Yes or no, team? Using one class, can we create multiple objects? If it's easy, at least answer the question, team. Using one class, can we create multiple objects? Absolutely yes. That is why class is there, like a blueprint. They can't have the same names. They have to have something differentiated, something unique. Now, if I say even dot x equals 10, what will happen, team? The value is set. Then I say even dot m1, then it will run that method. Okay, correct, everyone? Actually, let me do this. sta.java x is plus x in this case. Okay, so I'm showing you a very regular example right now, team. And here, so now even dot x, what is this? Parameter of the class. Now even dot m1 is a method of the class. So this will store information, this will do something. Stores data, does an operation. Operation is an activity. Okay. Now similarly, if I say E2 is the same thing. E2.x, E2.m1. And here I will say 20. Now when I execute this, let's see what comes across for us. Two print statements. M1 method execution, x is 10, x is 20. Okay. Now each of them came from different ones. Now see what will happen when I create a variable called static int y. Okay. And let us look at that first. So if I create a variable y, now you'll see that y also is available and I can put some value into it. Okay, great. And I'll say even dot m1, which is nothing but a print statement. Correct, everyone? Now, okay, here I'll say 50. Okay. Now e2 dot y equals 100. Now I'll say e2 dot message 1 or method 1, e2 dot e1 dot method 1. Okay. So let's comment these. We don't need these anymore. Focus with me, team. How many method calls are there? How many times we're calling methods? See, the reason I'm going into this in this way is so that you understand the logic into it, team. 3 times. Very nice. Very nice. How many print statements are there for this method? One print statements. So if it runs correctly, how many lines should come here as a print output in the console? Is it 3 or 5? How many lines will come as an output in the console? 3 or 5? Why 5? Only methods are printing, right? Even.y and e2.y, we're just setting that values. So it should be 3. Correct, everyone? Now, so what am I asking? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to talk to you about what the code may do before the execution. First line when I print, what will the value of y be? Oh, this is y. Let's change it to y then for now, everyone. Just as a y for now, okay? That way we're focusing on it. Actually, when I ask the question, even.m1, I think it'll do, but it'll print x values, which is nothing. Okay. Are you all with me, team? Now, listen. If I say, so the only thing I did as a difference here is I said, this is integer x. Then I said, this is static integer x, y. What is the difference? We're trying to find out. Okay. Now I'm saying even.y is set to 550. Even.m1, what will it print here? Y is? What is the first print statement then? From line 16, y is 50. Correct. Very good. Excellent. Now it will come to line 18. Line 17 is blank, nothing to do. Line 18, e2.y equals 100. Now when I say e2.m1, what will it print? On line 19, what will it print on line 19? I've got 3, 4 correct answers so far. See, team, and that's what I'm trying to train you on. The ability to debug ourselves before the program does it. You should be so confident about it that let the Eclipse or any environment, I need to know, I need to be in control totally. Then I will decide what instructions I want to give to the programming. Now see, e2.m1 means it will go to e2 and it will go to m1 and it will print that. What is the value of that y there? Now tell me what will it print in line 19, everyone? That's correct. It'll print 100. Now, next e1.m1. The value of e1.y is 50, correct? Now, what should line 20 print? What should line 20 print? Because e1.y, that property is set to 50. What should line 20 print? Right. Okay. So now let me actually remove this word called static, team. Let's try without static first. Okay. Then we'll come to static. Now let us say this. I run it. 50, 100, 50. Is that correct? That is what we wanted. Absolutely perfect. Now I will change this to static and now I will run it. Oops, not here. J11, oops. Here. I think it's still got the output. 50, 100, 100. Why? Now I'll say STA E3 equals, oops, E3 equals new. Something happened to my typing. STA, we're talking static method. So now I say E3 dot M1. What should it print here? Did I set a value to it? Let's see, actually, I don't even know if it'll work. Did I set a value, team? Did I say E3 dot Y equals something? Now it'll be different. Now you tell me. e2 dot m1, e1 dot m1. Let me explain the concept, okay? So a class, when we say a class, it's probably, got a lot of objects into a class, okay? There's object, 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 and so on, different objects. They all tend to have the same or similar properties or methods, okay? Now, certain things that I have to do for a property or method, I have to first create a new object and then call or set the values or the methods into it, correct? When I say static, let me write the definition out here. These are class level variables. It will be constant for every object involved in it. And if I want the value of this, right, I can just say sysO and say sta dot y because that is static. Now there is x also here, there is y, integer x, integer y. When I gave the class name, see, look, I'm giving the overall class name, team. I'm not even saying specific object. That specific information called static is common for it, the whole class. If one object changes it, every object, it will reflect the same. In fact, you don't need to create an object to access the parameter, the argument, variable, the same thing. Why you don't need to create an object, team? Because it is static to the class. So once that value is set, any object can get it, or you can get it through the class itself. So now you see, I'm saying sta dot y. sta is class name. E1, E2, E3 are what names, team? What are E1, E2, E3? sta is the name of the class. What are E1, E2, E3? Objects, yes, of type. Objects of type. If object of car, it can be object of a phone, it can be object of humans, it can be anything, it can be, right? sta. So E1, E2, E3, E1, E2, E3 are objects created from sta.java and they represent that class. They're instances of that class. Okay. So they've taken now shape to it. And this is what it has. Now, when I run this, notice what will happen. E3.m1, E2.m1, E1.m1, when I'm printing Y. So, though I set 50 here, 100 here, doesn't matter. Once the value of Y is changed for one object, it will change for every object. Every object will, okay, I'll write it like this. Once it changes for one object, every object will have the same data. It will not have anything different anymore. So now tell me, What will be the last four lines? Line 24, 25, 26, and 28. What will come here? What will the value be? E1 is one object, it has one value. E2 is one object, it has one value. E3 is one object, it has one value. But unfortunately, they're all static to the class. They're so static, like static in the sense rigid to the class. Yes, you're right. Okay, so 123, 123, 123. How about here? How many 123s will come at the end? How many 123s will come at the end? 3 is an incorrect answer. See, that is where we make mistakes. Okay to make mistake, but realizing that quickly, correcting it, and improvising on that is important. Tell me now, please, how many 123s will get printed? Hmm. Okay, let's run it. Did you see that? Y is 123, 123, 123 this way. So 3 with that message, but the next one I'm just printing the value. Now, if I try and print, is there STA X is there value? If I write STA dot, why can't see X here, team? Why can I only see Y? Why can't I see X? And why can I only see Y? At the class level, see, STA is class. Even E2, E3 are one objects of that class. Because only Y is static. So does that mean that if I make this static, it will show up there? It should. So now I say STA dot. Do you see the X also? Now it's recognized for us because I made that static. Now that's a static variable. It remains constant for the class. So whenever you see static, just remember that it will remain constant, that variable, that information. Whoever changes it latest will be the latest one. Okay, there's no restriction on it also. We have not come to private and other things team. Now, sta.x. This is cool. Let's create one more, please. J11. Oops. Can I rename this to static? Okay, I think it's done. Finish. And I want to create one more new and call this J11 12 underscore oops static methods. Okay. Now this is static methods team. It doesn't have a, I didn't create a main method. Public static void. See again, there is something static. Main and string of arguments that we're going to send. What did I do wrong here? Let's see. String str I wrote. Okay, what did I want to do from here? Okay, similar. Are you all with me, team? You understood what static is? I'm sorry. I'm not sure if we can write. I'm sorry for the cough, team. So there's a question if you can write instead of static int, can we write int static? I don't think it allows. Let's try. No, it does not. It takes it in that specific manner. So that is why definition of variables it kind of emphasizes. Okay, now let's see. Where are we? All right, so back to sta.java. I have method one. Correct, everyone? Now I'll create method 2. M2 hyphen static, I'll say. This is going to be a static method now. And whatever I want to give, whatever I want to do is fine. The only difference is I'm going to write this is public static void. Okay, do you see that? Now, what can I do with it in the sense, if I say even dot, do I see M1? I should say M2 also. Let me save this first. Then maybe I should be able to. There you go. Why it didn't come up, show up to me? Because, there you go, it did. Even dot M2. Now, will this run, everyone? Then I'll say E2 dot M2. Any errors in this code so far? Do you see any errors in the code? Error. Yes or no? No errors, no red sign. Save it, we'll know it. Okay, let's close this. So, but do you see a warning on line 7 and 9? This yellow thing with a yellow underline. The reason is it says basically it is a static method. You don't need to call it through an object. The static method M2 from the type STA should be accessed in a static way. It's just a suggestion. What does it mean? Instead of saying, now we're talking about the objects here, method, sorry. Okay. So if I have a method M1 and M2, if one is static, then I don't need an object to create it. I can create it at a class level. That is the whole difference. So if I say sta.m2, when I say sta dot, now you see x, y it's static variable. Why? Because y is also a static variable. M2, I don't see M1. M1 is here. M1 is there, M2 is there. But only thing is I added the word static here. So now M2, so sta dot M2 is the only static method, and I can say yes to it. And now no warning sign there. So what does a static method mean, team? Again, belongs to the class. Do not need an object to call the method. So, for example, in math calculator that we have seen here, all right, I see add, minus, multiply, correct everyone? Now I'm going to save this as, save as can I do? Now I'm going to call each of these methods static, team. They're just methods in this. I don't have any variables or arguments or parameters. Okay. And if I create a new program and call this as class prog4 underscore static, create a main method for it. Simple one. It's in the package called math calculator. So I'm continuing it that way, team. There are some errors in the others. I'm not looking at them as of now. Now see, when I want to do my math, I can do my math underscore static dot. and automatically I can see all the things I can do with it. Okay, that's it. So it is static to a method, does not require an object to call the method. That is the beauty of it, team. So they're common, they're not going to be different. Okay, just a concept which will go long time. We will kind of implement it again. All right, everyone, we good with that? Can we go ahead with inheritance, please, quickly and talk about what it does, what it means? So J13, I should have created everything here. In fact, there would have been 45 programs in one. Inheritance. So it's very simple, team. When we talk about inheritance as a concept, let's say I have a phone. Okay. Now every phone can do has two things. Every object has two things, right, team? Properties and methods, or arguments and methods that we can perform on them. So a phone has, I'll say, an identification number like that EMEI, and then it has a phone number itself to it. What else will a phone have? Properties. Maybe you can have a color, make, model. All right. We're gonna construct a class like this. Size, yeah, size, display, and yes, you're right. So many other things that can go into. Now let's talk about what we can do with a phone. We can call with a phone. We can text on a phone. We can do web on the phone. We can also do music on the phone. We can also do videos on the phones, correct? Now, we're talking about phones in 19, I didn't do that, 1980s, let's say. How many of these features would have been there? Just call, correct? 90s, 20s maybe started slowly the pages and texting. And then 2000s is when we started getting into a little web. And mid 2000 with iTunes and MP3 players, 2005 I would say, music. And then with YouTube everything come. By 2010 we were all done with all that we wanted, right? So if a developer started at that time writing a program for phones, that program had to be rewritten every time, correct? So what they will do is they will say that I have a class called, one second team, no main method, just a class phone, couple of variables. I'll just give one double for ID for number, and then I'll do string for make, comma, model. All right, that's all I have. These are my arguments. Now comes my method. What can I do on my method? I can call. So I'll say public. If I say static, every object can you, I mean, without an object we can use it. I'll just say void call. Now for calling, you'll maybe send an integer number. And I'm sorry. So, and here I'm going to say that calling number plus n1. Okay. Now that is the call. What else can we do on the phone? Nothing much. I don't think there's anything else. Okay. Now that is done. A class phone is done. Now what happens, team, is a next generation will come and say, I want to expand it or extend it and have it do certain more things. Now, this specific phones underscore cell, if I say extends phone, what it means is like this. Okay. Already I have phone.java call. Now cell phone has a text option. So similar to this, in cell, I'll say let us text txt, and here string text. I'm not sending who to yet in this, but one second. I'm sorry. So phone.java is my parent class, and phone underscore cell is a child class that extends the phone. Now let's look at what we can do on the code. Okay, public static. Okay, and phone.java, right? I'll say phone p1. I'll say old phone, old p equals to, I'll just say p1, new phone. Is there a constructor in this team? Can we add it? Is there a constructor in this? No constructor, no method with that name. If we have that, then we can happily use it, no problem. So back to inheritance, sorry. So now if I say P1 dot, what do I see? I see ID, make, model, number, and I see call, and I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4 integer it wants, correct? Perfect, done. Now this is my parent class. And similarly, I'll have a child class here. And here I'll say phone P2, but not phone. Phone underscore cell equals to new phone underscore cell P2. So now if I write P2 dot, can you see call here, everyone? Yes, you can call and give a number, different number. Now P2 dot, what does phone underscore cell have? It has an extra one called text. So whatever the parent has, it will get it by default. Additionally, it can add more things to it, and that is txt. Then why can't I see p2.txt here? If I type T, it'll go down, team. If you just type P2 dot, then scroll down a little bit. There you go. After two string alphabetically ordered text. And here I can say, now this becomes my parent class. This is a child class which has an extra method on it, team. Now phone underscore cell came. Now what else can I do? I can create one more. Actually, I don't want to go too many hierarchy level, but that's okay. Phone underscore smart. And this extends phone underscore cell. Allowed? Yep. If I write like this, allowed, it doesn't know what this is. So as long as it recognizes there's already a class that it can take as a parent, then it will take it unless it's final, which will come to. All right. So this is surf now. So surf is like web surfing, I mean to say, team. Surfing to the website and we send a URL to it. Now see, phone, it extends to phone underscore cell, first generation, that becomes a child. Now smartphone is evolved on phone underscore cell. So if I go back to my inheritance and see now what I can do, team. It's almost like a grandchild now. Okay, phone underscore smart. And this is P3. And this is phone underscore smart. And see now, when I say P3 dot, P3, I'll say, and P3 dot. I can see all the variables that are there, ID, make, model, num, though I didn't give them anything, just because it inherited all of those. And I can see call, I can see text, and what else did we put? And surf. PQRST, right? So wait came before that, and surf. So, and that is fine. But if I say P2 dot surf, will it come, team? Why? Because it is not there in P2. It should be either in the parent or within R cells. It cannot be there separately here. And now that's basically inheritance, where one is taking over the properties of others and methods of others and able to work on them. In this, what is method overriding? Overloading is same method with different arguments. different type or different number. Overriding, I think it will be overriding, is child method overrides the parent method. Now see what I mean to say. All this is done. So when I run this, p1.call, calling number 1234456 p2.call, and this is your WhatsApp. So I'll just say this is p2 WhatsApp, and this is p3, I'm in bliss. Okay. So if I run this, I'm getting that simple message back. Oops, what happened? p3.surf to blah blah blah. And let's run this now. 1234456 SMS P2, SMS P3, surfing to the website, so on. So we're able to get all this going, team. Correct? Now just observe this. Does phone.java have a call feature or method? Yes, it does. Correct, everyone? Now, does phone underscore cell have a call method? Does it have or no? So this is old phone. I'll say antic here, calling number. That's on phone. Now, if I put that same method here, and here I call this as better phone calling number. Now see, there is a call method in phone, that is the parent, and cell phone, which is a child of the overall phone, also has a call method. Now, if I say phone underscore cell dot call, or for that object specifically, then this method will override the parent. So primarily child method, yeah, I already wrote that. Child method overrides the parent. So see, earlier there was no call in phone underscore cell. So whatever was there with the parent, it used, and that's fine. Now we are doing it a little different. So now let's go and run this again. Phone P1, P1 dot call 1234, it should say old. Phone C P2, P2 dot call. Where does this take us? Let us see. And let's put a breakpoint here, team. This is the best way. Team, one more minute and I'll see you back tomorrow again. Oops, I ran. I'll do a debug run now. Switch perspective. No. So I'm at P2 dot call. See P1 dot call. What did it give us? Let's see. Calling number and tick. This is the old one. Calling number 1234. Now we are ready here. P2 dot call. So I'm going to say step over. No, step into. And it's going to come here. See? And it's going to override the parent method and print that. Okay. Now P3 dot call is already there from the parent, because for phone underscore smart, only phone underscore cell is important. Who's their parent, whatever they got, they understand. But for them, it'll take the hierarchy from that. So that is method overriding, team. Watch this video again, you'll get a good clarity. I'll continue tomorrow and explain more about this. All right, thank you everyone. Bye for now. Take care. Bye.